Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome in if this is your first time being here. My name is Melissa, this is Empowered Gems Tarot, and in today's reading, we're going to be looking into what's ahead for you in the upcoming month of July using tarot cards, oracle cards, and charms and dice. Take a deep breath. Choose the crystal or card that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And when you're ready, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. Hey group one, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to this Prehnite tower, this will be your message. And again, we're looking into what's ahead for you in the upcoming month of July. We're going to start with tarot and oracle cards, and then we'll jump into charms and dice, which will be timestamped below in case you guys like to skip ahead to that part sooner. But let's go ahead and jump in to the general energy influencing the month of July for you. So we've got the ninth house. This is Jupiter in the ninth in Sagittarius, keyword principle. We have ceremony, invocation. All right. Okay, so I feel like for a lot of my group one viewers, this is going to be a month where you guys are really reconnecting to spirit. Some of you guys with this ninth house energy, there could be, especially with Jupiter here, there's an expansion of these ninth house themes this month. So this could look like you guys reconnecting to your spiritual beliefs. This could look to you guys learning a new spiritual practice, learning about religion, studying or learning a new philosophy. It definitely, like ninth house can also be connected to things like travel, but this feels more like a learning month for the majority of my group one viewers. Maybe for some of you, there is some sort of travel involved in that learning piece, but it feels like this is about you expanding your learning, higher learning, or connection to those spiritual views and beliefs. And the reason I feel like it's spiritual for so many of you is because of this invocation energy here. This is literally about creating an altar, right? You can see that she's sitting here. She's got her crystal grid going. She's got her candles. There's a little snake next to her, right? So this is about you learning and expanding in your views, whether it's philosophy, religion, spirituality, whatever it is for you, but then incorporating that into your daily practice, okay? Now, for some of you guys, you might be watching this like, well, I'm not doing anything spiritual this month. Maybe it's more connected to learning and how the things that you're learning and studying and expanding the mind in are incorporated into your daily life, into your daily routine, right? The ceremony, this invocation energy gives me this sense of calling something in. So whatever you guys are doing or practicing, it's about wanting what you're calling in to be a part of your routine, a part of your life, a part of your being, okay? So let's keep going. Let's get into the tarot next. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about July for group one? Okay, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups. At the bottom of the deck, the Hierophant. Look at that. What did I say? There's some sort of studying or learning or higher education that you guys are partaking in. The Hierophant card can also talk about you all being a subject matter expert to others. You know, maybe you guys are the person that people go to for help because you are someone who is knowledgeable or carries expertise in your field. Yeah, even when I'm looking at this card, it looks like I'm not super familiar with all the different like religious attire that people wear, but it looks like a hat that somebody who's a prominent spiritual leader like in the Catholic Church would wear. So maybe for some of you, this Hierophant is your energy where you're the person who is helping other people as a subject matter expert or as an advisor or spiritual advisor here. So it's really interesting energy because you guys are starting off the month with this Ace of Pentacles. There's a golden opportunity being presented to you here to grow, something material connected to this. But next to it with the Five of Pentacles, I think that there could be, for some of my group 1 viewers, there's a couple messages that I'm getting. I feel like for some of you, there could be a little bit of a like an undeserving mindset around this, like maybe where you don't feel that you deserve this opportunity, or you don't feel like you're good enough for this opportunity, or something along those lines. The other piece that I'm getting really strongly, though, is that for those of you where you are helping other people, you are the advisor to others, I think that sometimes you have to just watch and be careful to make sure that you're helping people who actually want to be helped. Because when I take a look at this card, I see somebody here who has these beautiful, abundant pentacles that she's ready to offer to this person who's struggling, and this person does not want them, right? They're just in sorrow. They're in despair. They're not looking at her. They don't feel like they're deserving of it. So there could be some sort of a connection to you guys being a little bit more mindful about who you're helping and really making sure that it is a reciprocal, requested sort of effort here. Because you guys are the Queen of Cups, right? So there's a lot of compassion and empathy and emotion that you bring into this work or bring into this practice. And not everybody, I think people will be drawn to you because of that, but not everybody is ready for it, and not everybody feels like they deserve it, which I know probably sounds really weird, especially because, so you guys, it's really interesting because you guys picked this Prehnite tower, which is a crystal that is meant to, it is said to be a healing crystal for healers. And I do very much get healing vibes from this group, where you are this Queen of Cups. You are this Hierophant. You are a healer. You're kind. You're compassionate. You have empathy. You have expertise that you can bring to others. And I think sometimes it can be hard because you can see somebody is struggling or suffering and you want to help them, but not everybody is always open and ready to receive that help. Right? So it could be that you guys are just practicing those boundaries this month in your practices that you do. I do feel that you're successful, though, because it's like this Queen of Cups, she's facing away from this scenario here. So whatever you guys are dealing with, whatever dynamics you're dealing with, I do see you overcoming it and setting those proper boundaries here. Okay. We have all is well. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. Okay. Okay, so, with that Five of Pentacles, for some of you guys, that is a tougher energy. And it's just really interesting with it coming up next to the Ace of Pentacles. For some of you, there could even be a situation here where some of you feel like you were passed up for an opportunity, or your gifts were minimized, even though you clearly have an expansive mind and expansive learning or study that you've done here. And so if that does resonate with you, where there was an opportunity here that you were passed over for, or that, something that you really wanted to do was minimized, just trust that Spirit has your back, because for whatever reason, they're saying it sucks right now, it hurts right now that this happened, but there's a reason why it didn't happen that you'll see later. So I feel like this is going to be a big month, especially with your spiritual practices, where you all are working on building trust with Spirit, trusting the universe, and just looking for that spiritual thread behind the things that are happening, whether it's positive or something that is a downturn here. Okay. Let's see. Group 1, what else? Okay, hold on. We have adrift in shallow water. Take a few deep breaths and reconnect to your inner peace. Notice the small things and appreciate them. Okay. And then here at the bottom, we do have mutually beneficial venture. That's really interesting because I am getting an energy for some of you where it's like, there may be somebody here, some sort of an opportunity that you're really wanting to go after, but maybe the right person for you hasn't presented themselves just yet, okay? This says there is an extraordinary connection at the forefront of your life at this moment. Utilize this relationship to benefit everyone concerned. So keep an eye out for that. It could be that Queen of Cups for some of you. But I feel like with this Five of Pentacles that there's something about you, your opportunity or this idea, or maybe it's not an idea, but it's like there's an opportunity here for you with this Hierophant, Queen of Cups, to help. And maybe it's not being seen by the right people just yet. Okay. This energy of being adrift in shallow water is really just talking about you being grateful for the little things, right? The Five of Pentacles can be an energy where we're focused a lot on what we lack or what we don't have. Sometimes missing, as depicted in this card, missing positivity and blessings that are right in front of us, right? I think you guys getting more connected to your spiritual practice is going to help you reconnect to yourself a little bit better this month. And I see you using that as a tool to get you through any challenges that come up for you. And maybe some of you guys may be guided to step into a gratitude practice too, right? Like just to help with that. All right, so we're gonna get one card for career, one card for love, and then we'll get into your charms, group one. So what's the overall energy of career for group one this month, please, Spirit? Okay. So these two fell out. Yep, this makes a lot of sense, makes a lot of sense. Okay, we have beginning. It's a good time to start a new job or a whole new career. You have creative ideas that get noticed, build a nest egg for the future. And then we do have prickly situation. You need both tact and diplomacy to reach your goals. The struggle is worth the prize. Work around the issue and use a gentle touch. That may be where that Queen of Cups energy is coming in for you. The thing I want you guys to know is that you are showing up as this Hierophant. You are a subject matter expert. You are expansive in your knowledge. You are abundant with this Ace of Pentacles. You have a lot to offer. And I do feel with this Ace of Pentacles, there is some sort of a new opportunity that's coming in for you this month, maybe earlier in the month of July for some of you guys. But there's still something about it that's a little tricky, that's a little challenging, because maybe whoever is involved here, there's that weird power imbalance or that dynamic that's at play that you're going to have to watch for. So using tact and diplomacy are going to be really important to getting where you want to go. Okay. Or working around the issue will help you to get where you want to go. It's someone here who doesn't really fully see the value of what you're bringing, but it's because they're in kind of a low sunken place. Where they're not really a vibrational match for you. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's look at a love card for you guys. Love life for group one this month, please, Spirit. We have open up your heart. It will help you attract more love. And then we have an air sign here, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So you guys might be connecting with an air sign this month for some of you. Opening up your heart, that's really beautiful. I do see you in that Queen of Cups energy toward the end of the month. So, and when I'm looking at this card, she has this beautiful cup of love just like flowing from her. So maybe toward the end of the month, there's something happening here with love where your heart is feeling a little bit more open. The Queen of Cups can also be like a lover girl energy, or maybe you guys are really in your feels for someone toward the end of the month. So we'll take a closer peek at this in charms to see what other themes come up for you. All right, group one, let's continue this reading. We're going to begin with your dice, and then we'll look at the charms. So what else, Spirit, can you tell us about what's ahead in the month of July for group one? All right, lots of stuff coming up under advice here. This is here. Okay, these didn't really land anywhere, so we're gonna just move them off. Let me move this down a bit so I can reach. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about what is ahead in the month of July for group one? Okay. right. Let's see, this is the initial G. Yeah, I feel like there's somebody here this month in love that you guys are really feeling. Their initials could be a G, but the moon and star charm under love and partnerships kind of tell me that there's a sense that you guys really adore this person or you're really adored. You know, I think of that quote, when you think someone has hung the moon and stars, meaning like you see them as this really inspirational, just amazing person who could do anything. So there's definitely something coming up for you guys in your love life that I see. I feel like with that Queen of Cups, it could be later toward the end of the month that it comes in for you, but it may not play out that way specifically for each person out there. All right. So one thing that I am seeing here is that there's something coming up with finances this month. So it's interesting because you guys had this Ace of Pentacles with the Five of Pentacles right next to it. The Five of Pentacles can sometimes feel like when we're not worthy of something, or we have like a lack mindset going on, even if there are resources available to us. It can also just sometimes come up when we're feeling a little bit squeezed, like we just don't feel like we have enough to cover everything. And you guys have this little squid here, which does kind of confirm that there's something deeper going on when it comes to your money that needs to be looked at. And I feel because in the spirit and self sector of this little chart, the second house is here with the key next to it. And the second house is directly talking about our income that we specifically earn. And it also talks about our value and a little bit of like our relationship with money. And so I feel like with the key being here, Spirit is saying is that you and your value and your relationship with money, looking at that this month is going to actually unlock the answers to the questions that you're having about your financial situation, right? And that's going to look a little bit different for everybody, right? Depends on your personal situation and what your relationship with finances looks like. But it feels like there is some self-reflection happening, some deeper awareness coming into play around your relationship with money and your value that you're going to be unpacking here. Okay. All right, let's take a look at a couple other things here. So you guys have this little water drop here in the health and well-being area. So water is emotions, it's flow. And then you have the little heart charm, and the heart charm talks about self-love and romance. Okay, so I think kind of going back to that invocation card that we had, the ceremony card, I definitely feel that there is a deeper connection to self this month, right? Where you all are really going inward. Yes, I do think there's somebody here that you're partnered with or that you're interested in romantically this month, but I also feel like you are deepening your relationship with yourself. And that really ties in with what I'm seeing here with the self-worth stuff with the second house in finances, right? So part of what is helping you boost your well-being or maybe even make improvements to your health and wellness, it is learning self-love. And it's also with this water element, it's like your emotional health and well-being is of significance. So you guys could be looking at that. Maybe some of you are going to therapy or doing other types of practices spiritually or otherwise that help you feel more emotionally, I was going to say emotionally stable, but like emotionally well, if that makes sense. And there's also an element of just going with the flow too. So I don't really feel like this group is going really hard on themselves with any specific type of health or wellness routine. It's more just about going with the flow, listening to your body, listening to your intuition, and partaking in practices or introspection that helps you to love yourself more, which then again draws love to you from the outside as well, which is so beautiful. You guys also have the letter I coming up in social life and others. So that could be somebody's initials, but it could also be I as in you, the viewer. And that's kind of interesting that initial is coming up in the context of others. So what I'm guided to tell this group is that I think the Spirit wants you to know that you are sort of at the center of the results that you get in your social life or with other people, whether that's positive or negative, right? Or neutral. So just take a look at the common themes that you feel that you're experiencing with others this month And if you're getting positive results or negative results or whatever it is that you're looking for, Spirit is wanting you to know that you are the one that sets the tone, okay? So closing it out, you guys have some advice here. You've got the Pearl, you've got the number 1, and then you also have the energy of Pluto here. Okay, so the Pearl in particular, this talks about hidden wisdom. And again, I do feel that there's a lot of stuff spiritually that you guys are unlocking this month through reconnecting to your spiritual practices or just reconnecting to your higher self, doing your self-love routine and practices, whatever that looks like for you. The number 1 talks about independence and determination. And Pluto energy in particular talks about rebirth and transformation. So there's some sort of hidden wisdom that you guys are unlocking that is allowing you to move forward independently the way that you need to. Maybe you guys are gaining more independence this month, even though there's a partner or person here. It definitely feels like this is more of a month that's about you and your inner world. And so whatever this hidden wisdom is that you guys are unlocking, it's leading you to a deep transformation here with Pluto. Now, Pluto is uncomfortable, right? And you guys did have this one uncomfortable card, the 5 of Pentacles, which can, have to do with all the themes we talked about. Self-worth, maybe your relationship with money, your value, you investing in people who are not on your level, things like that could be coming through, right? So Pluto is going to unearth the things that are uncomfortable for us to look at. But the beauty of you looking at them is that it gives you the opportunity to transmute that energy into something positive, right? And so that is what I feel is happening this month for you, group 1. All right, so we're going to end the reading here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Comment below. Let me know how this resonates for your month ahead, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey, group 2, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to this clear quartz crystal, this will be your reading for the month of July. So let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to start this reading with your tarot and oracle cards, and then we'll jump into charms. The charms will be time-stamped in the description box below in case you guys like to skip ahead to those. So looking at the overall energy for the month of July, we start off here with Aries energy. Mars and Aries in the first house, impulsiveness. Okay, and then we have the stone people, vigilance coming through. Okay. All right. Okay, so Mars in the first, this is bringing like a lot of passion, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement towards something in your life. And the first house is the house of self. It's the house of you, right? Some of you guys, there could be an energy of like physical fitness or physicality that's prominent for you this month, physical movement of your body. But more broadly speaking, it feels with vigilance that there is something that you are pushing forward with in your life that is requiring passion and energy, but maybe also a little bit of awareness, right? So it's interesting that the keyword of impulsiveness is here because this shows me that you guys might feel excited or you might feel impulsive, right? Sometimes when we're excited or we have energy towards something, we just do it. We put our energy into it and we just go, go, go. Vigilance is kind of saying that there's going to be a need to temper that to a degree because there's something about the situation that's going to require you to be a bit more aware of your surroundings or aware of others, okay? So let's get into the tarot and see what else we can get for you, group 2. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about what's ahead this month in July for group 2? What's ahead for group 2, Spirit, in the month of July? All right, we've got the devil. Okay, there's the temptation, the vigilance that we need. Okay. We have the 3 of Pentacles. And then we have the Ace of Swords here as well. At the bottom of the deck, we have the 5 of Wands. Okay, so there's like a competitive energy here for sure. Competitive, there could be debates or arguments underneath of things as well, if there are other people involved. We also have leadership. It's time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, so maybe you guys are finding yourself in a leadership position. That could be formal or informal. It just all depends on your situation and the context here. But you're in charge. You're the boss this month with something, okay? Stepping into that leadership position. Now, the interesting thing, you guys, is like the devil is here. This is the first card that comes out. And I feel like this card is really interesting because we look at it here, you can see that this mermaid has found herself in this trap where maybe she was lured there by these like really shiny, pretty trinkets, this gold that's here. And now she's in this situation where she's like stuck and she cannot get out without somebody helping her. Okay. There could be an element of that's like connected to this, where maybe for some of you, there was a situation where you were chasing something, this impulsive energy, you're chasing something, and then you end up in this stuck situation where it's like, ugh, I followed the wrong thing. And now I need help getting out. Now, the positive thing is that with the Three of Pentacles here, I do think there's help for you. There's teamwork energy, there's collaboration energy. The Ace of Swords also brings clarity of communication and thought as well. But if this hasn't played out for you yet, group 2, I do think that's why Spirit is saying, like, really watch for impulsive, being too quick to make decisions or choices. Be more vigilant about your surroundings. Be more vigilant about what you're drawn to. Be more vigilant about what you're getting yourself into here. Some of you guys too with the devil, this could just very simply be like a toxic situation, right? Like there's a toxic situation that you're in. It could be the environment. Despite that, there is this beautiful energy of the Three of Pentacles here where people are collaborating and working together. I do definitely feel like you guys are going to be leading, because when I look at this Three of Pentacles, well, I mean, it says it here too, but you see how there's one woman who's much larger, and then there's these two little, almost look like little frogs or fairies that are here helping, right? So you guys are going to find yourselves, I think, stepping into either a formal or informal position of power this month, where you're leading and collaborating with others, but you're really the face of the leadership energy here. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab another card here. What else can you tell us about July for group 2? I definitely feel like through that teamwork energy comes clarity of thought, clarity of communication with the Ace of Swords. What's interesting though that I keep being drawn to with this Ace of Swords is that it almost feels like this Ace of Swords is the sword sitting at like the bottom of the ocean or at the bottom of a ship. Like it's sort of in this inconspicuous place where you wouldn't have thought to look or where it was hard to find. So that could be part of what's the challenges this month, group 2, is that there's just not a lot of clarity, but the clarity comes later, and it comes from continuing to push forward and dig deeper. You know, it's like the sword got lost. Swords in the tarot, have to do with communication and thinking. So there may be a tie in there for some of you guys. So what else here? Oh, okay. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Dropping stuff everywhere. So what else can you tell us, Spirit, about July for group 2? All right, we've got polite declaration. You can move in whatever direction you need to accomplish your goals. It is time for you to get out there, claim what is yours, and stay in your power. Interesting. And then at the bottom, we have dancing in the rainbow. Break free from whatever you feel is holding you back. Express happiness. Find out what you truly desire. So there's definitely a sense of you guys getting out of whatever this situation is that's keeping you stuck, whether it's like a mental block, whether it's like a toxic situation. Even like the devil can sometimes talk about things like addictions or just bad habits that keep us sort of paralyzed or trapped. And that's kind of what's depicted here in this card, where the little mermaid that's in the card, she was tempted by something that wasn't good for her and drawn to the wrong things, which got her in this bad situation that she's in, right? So despite your situation, whether you're fully removed from that devil or you're just making different choices or still operating within it, whatever it is for you, there's this energy of you saying, okay, I just need to take back my power here. I need to take back my power. I need to get out there. I need to figure out what I need to do to get the clarity that I need, to get the teamwork that I need to kind of move things forward. Okay. This definitely feels very career coded for a lot of you guys, but of course, you know, this could be a situation in your personal life too. Just take it as it resonates for you. We're now going to look at a card for career, and then we'll look at a card for love before we get into your charms. So what else, Spirit, can you tell us about career specifically for group 2 in the month of July? We have star power. You need engaging work that will let your talent shine. You are a natural actor and influencer. You attract fame and fortune. So yep, you're definitely going to be in the spotlight. Yep, and here at the bottom we have make it work. You have all the tools you need to succeed, but you have to put in the effort. You excel at working with your hands and fixing problems. So it's like, I think that you guys are just in a situation where you just have to figure it out. You just have to make it work. Not everything is perfect. Not everything is super clear. I do think that clarity is coming for you toward the end of the month. But in the meantime, I think it's about you just stepping into this leadership energy, taking back your power and moving with decisiveness, right? Despite the circumstances here. I mean, maybe you guys are just in a toxic situation and that's why you feel like you have to be vigilant here. Let's look at the love message for you guys for this month. Let's look at the love messages for group 2 this month, please, Spirit. We have move on. Someone is unavailable, a waste of time, it's over. Well, that's pretty clear. Okay. There is going to be a love reading posted, which I think as I'm uploading this video, it probably was posted the prior week. So you can always check that out if you're looking for more deep clarity on love, but we'll also see what comes up for you guys in love with charms too, if that's a prominent focus for you this month, okay? All right, group 2. So let's go ahead and look at your charms next. All right, group 2. So let's go ahead and jump into your dice and charms to see what additional message we can get for you for the month of July. So what else, Spirit, does group 2 need to know about the month of July? Okay. I feel like this one is really over here. These are here. Okay. And let's go ahead and get the charms. Group 2. Let's see. All right. Oh, we've got a little unicorn here. That's cute. I feel like you guys are going to be socializing a lot with family members with the 4th house here. Like there could be some sort of a, you know, 4th house are home and family matters. So there could be some community events that you're in, like in your neighborhood. There could be social stuff connected to your relatives, family reunions, parties, things like that. You also have this little unicorn here within home and family, which it makes me feel like there's some idealizing happening within that area. Maybe not necessarily for the bad. Unicorn, it can sometimes talk about when we are not seeing things fully clearly, right? Things are not as it seems. So just kind of watch out for that as you're navigating any unique family dynamics, okay? I feel like in your career and business sector here, we have the swan, which talks about loyalty. And I also think about partnerships when I think about swans, which I feel like ties in really well with this 3 of Pentacles that's here, with you guys just kind of rallying the troops, you know, connecting to the people who are loyal to you despite any difficult situations that you might be in, and just pushing forward in that way with your peers or with your colleagues or whoever it is. But partnerships and loyalty are going to be significant in career this month. You guys also have some stuff happening here with your health and well-being. So this skull and crossbones is interesting, right? Because this this talks about red flags or caution that we need to have. And the full moon can be when a situation is maybe a little bit heightened, or can also talk about something reaching its peak point here. So when we come back to your tarot cards, the Devil, right? Remember how I was talking about this could be like bad habits. This can be, you know, addictions. I'm not saying everybody who's in group 2 has that going on, but there just could be something happening within your well-being that is asking you to be cautious and to reflect. Like something is going to be heightened for you here when it comes to your well-being, whether it's your mental health, physical, spiritual, or just your general sense of well-being. If you guys are in a toxic situation like the Devil is depicting here, that can also take a toll on your energy levels, your well-being, right? So there's going to be some sort of a reflective peak point on this. I think a peak point and then a reflection on it. You're going to be noticing more clearly some red flags that are connected to that, to your environment, I feel. Maybe for some of you, it's family stuff too, because again, with the unicorn, it's like something is not as it seems when it comes to your relatives or your home or your family matters. So there could be a connection to well-being there too, where something isn't quite as it seems. And then it comes to fruition this month where you get a clear picture of what it is that needs your awareness. All right, now in love and partnerships, we've got Sagittarius energy and we also have the Sun. So those are some really cute, fun energies. The Sun talks about your sense of self, your personality, your life force energy. Sagittarius energy is a really beautiful, expansive energy. It can also talk about traveling, learning, higher education, philosophy. So you guys might be investing in partnerships or friendships or relationships this month that are centered on like who has really beautiful, positive life force energy and vice versa. Like who is boosting your vitality this month? And maybe there is a common bond over shared interests connected to travel, philosophy, spirituality, and things of that nature as well. So that's a really beautiful, bright spot. And it kind of reminds me of the 3 of Pentacles that's here. It's like finding your tribe, finding your people that might be a little different from you, but you guys work really well together. There's friendship here. There's community here, despite any negative circumstances that you could be moving through. Okay. So it's like a bright spot that's here for you guys. Definitely feels more friendly oriented, friendship oriented than it feels like romantic, but, yeah, especially because you guys had this love card of like moving on, someone's unavailable. So you guys could be closing out a chapter with a romantic partner and moving more towards friendships this month. All right, so to close us out, group 2, we've got the little diamond here and then we have the key. And this is under the energy of self and spirit. So diamonds talk about the things we make promises to. There could be an energy of you guys recommitting to something for yourself this month too. Maybe there's clarity. This clarity that comes at the end of the month with the Ace of Swords is helping you to better understand what you should be committing to in your life so that you're not spread too thin or falling into uncomfortable or toxic situations. And through the promises and the commitments that you're keeping or making to yourself comes spiritual insights and wisdom. And it could even be vice versa, where it's like, maybe there's some sort of spiritual clarity. Yes, I think that's what this is. Yes. It's like this clarity that's coming with the Ace of Swords at the end of July. It's helping you guys to set more, like I just heard boundaries or making promises to yourself, commitments to yourself that are meant to help you boost your well-being, create a better balance for yourself, preventing you from getting into these like types of devil energy situations if possible. So looks really interesting, group 2. Comment below. Let me know what you guys have planned for the month of July. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye. Hey, group number 3, welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the rose quartz, this is going to be your message for the month of July. So we're going to be looking into what's ahead for you guys this month using tarot and oracle cards first, and then we'll transition into charms. Charms will be timestamped in the description box down below, so you guys can go ahead and skip ahead to that if you want to go there earlier, if you like. All right, so let's start off by looking at the overall energy influencing your month ahead. And we start off here with, okay, we've got Saturn in the 4th house in Cancer, charity being the key word. And then we have crystals, focus. Okay. So the fourth house is connected to home and family matters. Private life matters as well. Saturn being here indicates that there is some greater responsibility within this area of home and family matters that is coming through for you in the month of July. Now, Saturn is an energy that it can feel a little bit restrictive, but it's usually about doing something the right way for a longer term benefit versus like a short term gratification. Okay. And I don't feel like it's inherently negative because we have the crystals energy here, which is telling me that this is a month where you guys are highly, highly focused on whatever these responsibilities are, laser focused and clear on what you should be doing. We also have that keyword of charity here, which is interesting. And you can see in this particular card, it depicts like family type of matters. There's like a mother with 2 children here, right? So there could be something literal for some of you where maybe you are supporting a charity or doing some sort of volunteer work that's kind of connected to home and family matters or children. Sorry, you guys. So that could be significant for some of you. For others of you, though, I feel like if you are a mother or if you are a parent, you could just be really, really focused on that area of your life this month. And I also wonder if there's an energy of feeling restricted by it for some of you, just being honest. Let's keep going. I'm going to grab just a sip of water really quick. All right, let's keep going. Let's get into the tarot cards next. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about group 3 and their month of July? What do they need to know? What does group 3 need to know about the upcoming month of July? The 3 of Pentacles. Okay. The 7 of Swords. The Justice card. Oof. And then we have 5 of Swords here at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Let's see. And then we've also got life review. This says take inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. All right, group 3. Yeah, I definitely think that you guys are seeking some sort of balance this month for sure. Things I feel just are feeling a little bit heavy when it comes to those home and family matters for a lot of you guys, or if you're parents. You know, it just may feel like you've got a lot on your shoulders right now. There is an energy of the 5 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, which this can talk about sort of petty fights or arguments or the ego needing to be right about something when really it's kind of a lose-lose situation. Nobody wins. And I don't know if you guys are feeling like hurt by that type of energy this month. I'm just noticing how she's got like a little cut on her hand here. It's just giving me like some sort of petty, like childish, I cannot talk, childish energy at the bottom of the deck where people are just like play fighting and then somebody gets hurt. That's what I feel. It's like there's an undertone of play fighting and bickering and back and forth where people aren't really that serious about it, but then somebody gets hurt because these are very real swords in this card. Swords in the tarot, group 3, if you're not aware, they are also connected to communication and they are also connected to our thoughts. So just be mindful of how you're thinking, what your inner monologue is like, right? Because sometimes our thoughts make things sound way worse for us than they actually are. Five of Swords in communication, like I was saying, can also just be sort of petty bickering, needing to be right about something, when really at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal, right? Or it's just not a battle that's worth fighting or getting hurt over. So just watch for those coming through. There's something about that that's coming up. And I feel like that's why this life review energy is here, right? Like there's something that's just, I feel like there's just something here that feels like it's not really working out fully for you guys, because maybe it's causing you stress or you're in this kind of environment that you don't really resonate with. Now, starting off the month, we have the Three of Pentacles. So that's a really beautiful energy of teamwork, collaboration, friendship, things getting on track, right? So I do think the beginning of the month of July will be okay, right? I see you collaborating with others. You know, if you guys have got a partner, like a co-parent or a spouse, like you're working well together, things like that. But then we move into the Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords is another tricky, kind of tough energy here. You know, this card talks about moving in silence. It talks about being strategic. It talks about deception sometimes. If I take a look at this Seven of Swords, what I'm seeing in this card is a group of people who have stumbled upon this chest of swords that doesn't belong to them, right? And I feel like they're kind of looking at it and they're like, what do I do with that? Yeah, so I mean, there could be that you guys kind of stumble across something. Maybe it's with a teammate or a partner. You stumble across something this month that you're not supposed to see. Something that was supposed to be secret. Swords, again, are communication. So maybe it's a text, like a message, something like that. And then you're like, what do I do with this now? Do I keep it quiet? Do I take it? Do I say something? Right? And then we end with Justice, which is about fairness and doing the right thing. Something that can be really tough, though, about justice is that the right thing and the fair thing, it doesn't always feel the best, right? So there's definitely something about needing to do what's right here this month with whatever it is that you're finding. Okay. So let's see group 3. What else can you tell us for group 3, please, Spirit? What else does group 3 need to know about July? Okay, we've got change direction with ease. This is a time for change, shape-shifting, or your soul's evolution. It's a time to reconsider what you're wanting. You may be in for a surprise. Maybe you guys stumble across something in the middle of July where you're like, you know what? I think there's a better direction ahead for me. We have empower yourself. Tune into your personal power. You are more than able to handle the situation facing you. Allow yourself to be strong, beautiful person that you're capable of being. Yeah, I think you guys are just arriving at the decision that it's time to move in another direction here, right? And the Seven of Swords, it doesn't always have to be bad. Sometimes the Seven of Swords is about moving in silence, right? Not telling people what we're doing out of self-preservation or because that's what's the right thing for you in the moment. And it's not always wrong to do that. So let's take a look next at career energy and love energy for you. And then we'll move into your charms to get more insight overall. What about, career energy for group 3 this month, please, Spirit? We have rewards. You are cashing in on all the good work you've done. Raises, bonuses, and prosperity are coming in. Keep going and keep growing. So you are getting, yeah, and look, we have drama here at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this Five of Swords, it is drama, like workplace drama for some of you guys. This says beware of troublemakers in the workplace. The job you want may have too much upheaval to bear. Keep emotions and gossip in check. Be careful, you guys, with who you're talking to, because sometimes that stuff can come back to bite you. Just as a rule of thumb, if somebody's gossiping to you about others, they're probably gossiping about you. They're gossiping to you about others, they're probably gossiping about you with others. So just be careful of that kind of stuff. But it does seem like in career, you're getting rewarded for your hard work. And it's clarified with that justice energy, meaning that there's fairness here. So despite any challenging circumstances that you have been through, I think you are still getting fairly compensated or bonused or rewarded for the hard work that you've put in. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at love, group 3. What about love life for group 3 this month, please, Spirit? We have they'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. So maybe there's a temporary separation from somebody this month, or somebody that's away. But Spirit is saying that they'll be back at some point. Okay, so we'll definitely be curious to see, or I'll definitely be curious to see if there's more about that in the charms. We're going to go ahead and skip into that next. Okay, well, group 3, welcome to your dice and charms. Let's go ahead and get started with dice, and we'll take a look at what additional messages Spirit has for you about the month of July. All right, we definitely have some career stuff coming through here. Ooh, okay. Okay, and then let's pull some charms for group 3, please, Spirit. What else does group 3 need to know about the month of July? Okay. Alrighty. All right, my friends, lots of stuff going on. You guys have the letter E showing up here in love and partnerships. So maybe those are the initials of someone significant in love or partnerships. You guys have I almost said nuclear. Maybe something in your career is going nuclear this month, but you guys have Aquarian energy and Neptune energy in your career sector of the chart with the squid. So Aquarius energy tells me, this kind of comes back to that teamwork and collaboration energy that we saw early in the month. So there's something here about teamwork, collaboration, innovative ideas, or thinking just about broader collective and what's right for groups of people, while still finding your way to stand out uniquely there. It is clarified here by Neptune and the squid. So just watch, again, you guys, for who's around you and what you're saying to people, because Neptune is hazy, right? It's when we're not kind of seeing the situation fully clearly. And I feel like with that squid here, there's something that Spirit is saying about your career where there is some sort of a threat or some sort of the word threat sounds kind of aggressive, but there's some sort of red flag or some sort of a deeper problem that you need to just watch out for. And the squid, right, it lives deep down in the ocean. Kind of interesting that it's paired with Neptune, which is like ocean energy too, right? It's connected to Pisces, right? So just know that, what am I getting from this? I just feel like there is something emotional beneath the surface that is also a red flag, whether this is within you or somebody in your surroundings. With Aquarius here, it just makes me feel like it's collective energy. So somebody in your surroundings, just be mindful of that. Neptune is going to be sort of clouding judgments a little bit here. There may be like a tendency, it's a beautiful energy, right? So some of you guys might be in a place where teamwork feels great, collaboration is amazing. There's like a spiritual energy here, creative energy here, but there's still something beneath the surface that's lurking that Spirit wants you to just watch for, okay? Now, in your financial area, there's some positive stuff here. So remember we had that message about rewards where you guys are getting rewards here. I definitely see you getting some positive news with finances. And the reason that I say it's positive is because the Christmas tree, it talks about joy and happiness. It also makes me think about getting gifts. And the bell talks about communication and news. So there's definitely something positive that's coming your way with your finances this month, despite whatever drama is happening at work. You guys also have some cool stuff here in your health and well-being area. So you've got the little cup, and then you also have the 6th house, okay? So the cup has to do with love, relationships, and feelings. And the 6th house has to do with our daily routine. So there could be something here that you all are exploring this month around how to make your daily routine feel more emotionally fulfilling. Just coming back to your cards here. Yeah, I feel like there maybe could be somebody that you guys meet romantically. I know that there's somebody here that's coming back, but maybe for some of you, this Ace of Cups is like a new love opportunity that's coming to you through something that you do that's positive for your day-to-day routine, something that positively impacts your health and well-being. So just watch out for that. I do feel that for some of you. Maybe this is the E person. Yes. You have the little navigation helm with home and family. Maybe some of you guys are taking a trip home. If you don't live close to your hometown or your family, there's like the little navigation wheel. Or generally just could be navigating something with home, right? Again, so the 4th house, it talks about like those home and family matters. So that could be Spirit just saying you're going to continue to kind of navigate through some of these challenges or some of these different changes or situations that are affecting you. And then we close out here with Spirit and Self. And you guys have the little key, which talks about unlocking spiritual insight. And then you also have the little clothespin, which talks about securing and holding something down. So you're making some sort of, I think, positive decision for yourself this month about what you're committing to, what you're securing for yourself. And it's coming from within you. It's coming from your spiritual insights, your wisdom here. Okay. So definitely looks like a positive month ahead, you guys. Definitely some challenges with career that I see. Not all bad, but some challenges. I definitely feel like some of you guys are meeting somebody with that 6th house. Like you're meeting somebody in your daily routine, doing something that you love that's connected to your health and well-being. So comment below. Let me know what you guys have planned. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next reading soon. Bye.